In today's video, we are watching Blade vs. Buffy, two vampire slayers duking it out against each other. One's from Marvel, one's from a show called Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The video is by Death Battle, so if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel.
Blade versus Buffy.
The Daywalker versus the Vampire Slayer.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. They are known by many names: Revenant, Vortalok, Nosferatu.
Vampires. When the moon is out and the night is young, these undead demons are out for blood.
Fitting then that the greatest foe of those who stalk the night
is a
the
vampire
one who can walk the day. Blade.
Is that really his costume?
Hang on.
Now there's a man who doesn't file his taxes. Blade is one of the coolest superheroes ever, and basically kickstarted the comic book movie craze.
And yet, he is also seemingly the only one who knows or cares that in the world of Marvel, vampires exist. Seriously, nobody talks about this.
Blade doesn't need anyone's help. He'll just aura farm by himself.
Even Blade's birth was hardcore. Just as the young Eric Brooks' mother was in labor, her attending doctor turned out to be the vampire Deacon Frost.
And he drank her blood right before she gave birth.
This infused Eric with Frost's vampiric blood, turning him half human, half vampire. A Dampier.
Giving him a ton of vampy powers, but none of their weaknesses like garlic, holy water, or sunlight.
Eric would hone these abilities under the tutelage of vampire hunter Jamal Afari, sharpening him into a blade that would rape the vampire.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know much about Blade. All I know is I main him in Marvel Rivals because he's dope. Like, I literally have lore on the character. But all I knew, like, the basics, that he was a half vampire and that he can walk during the day. That was it. And that he fights Dracula. That's about it. I didn't know much about anything else. I did watch the Blade movie, but I just don't remember it because that was like years ago.
Plague for good.
Blade is strong and fast enough to toss around 1,000-pound demons and cut bullets out of the air. He can keep up with Wolverine, who can deflect Cyclops' light-speed optic blasts. And his Kevlar DuPont armor helped him take the top of Count Von Stadt's castle exploding.
He can heal small wounds immediately and sniff out the supernatural with his hypersenses. Also, his fangs can drain his victims of magical energies.
After studying the ways of Hong Kong Kung Fu movies, Blade became a master martial artist. Ah yes, the Rufus from
See, blood-sucking fangs, magical energy siphon, hypersenses, immortality, regeneration, shape-shifting, berserk mode, and martial arts. Those are all of Blade's abilities.
Fighter School of Kung Fu.
While the only martial art he's been stated to know is Krav Maga, we know he's mastered more. So for the full scope of his martial arts ability, we'll examine the Blade movies as performed by Wesley Snipes.
By looking at Snipes' training and choreography, we know Blade uses Kung Fu, Capoeira, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Eskrima, Kickboxing, Shotokan Karate, and Hapkido. Add on Blade's knack for stealthy takedowns, and I guess you could call him Marvel's Batman.
Blade's training progressed smoothly until Afari was attacked and had his blood drained by Dracula. Seriously, Avengers, Dracula is real. Why aren't you doing anything about this? He's right there!
Forced to murk his surrogate dad, Blade would have to wage his war alone.
Nursing a wound within him that would never heal. A hole that could never be filled.
Not with that attitude.
Arsenal, blades, magical and adamantium swords, knife, stake, throwing glaives, bladed nunchaku. Body armor, countless firearms, and explosive. Yeah, I don't know why people are mad in Marvel Rivals about Blade mainly using his gun. Like, that's mainly his, because he mainly uses guns in the comics and Marvel. Well, not the comics, because I barely read the comics, but in the movies. And, yeah, he majorly used guns. I don't know why people are mad. Countless fire and explosives, prosthetic gun hand, anti-hypnosis goggles, flame gauntlets, edge of Intredos, breathing gun, boy thing, and a motorcycle.
Blade took a page out of the Book of Boomstick and tried filling that hole with every kind of weapon imaginable. He's got so many, they're his apartment decorations.
Handguns, assault rifles, and explosives make up the brunt of his firepower. And he enjoys getting up close and personal with his dual acid-etched titanium katanas.
Speaking of glorious Nippon steel, he's got a sword made out of adamantium.
Specifically, secondary adamantium, a variant of the metal that is mass-producible.
It might not be quite as strong as Cap's shield, but it can cut right through heavy hitters like Ultron and the Hulk.
Naturally, Blade has even more swords. His Atlantean ones can slice through magical enchantments. The Word Sword can harm intangible demons, and the Justiciar can slay fallen angels.
Yeah, he's got some weird stuff he can pull out of his ass, like a Hellfire shotgun that burns your soul.
Just imagine that if they rework Blade in Marvel Rivals, that they sit here and give him like elemental swords based on the ones they just explained. Like you have to press a button to change the effect of the sword to do different various kind of damage. That would honestly be kind of cool, but also kind of busted, because I wouldn't see how they would do that. Like how they would do that and keep that balance.
Hypodermic needles filled with vampire blood. Seems kinda dumb to turn people into vampires, but it does make them more vulnerable to Blade's arsenal.
All that pales in comparison to the arch weapon of hell in Blade's possession, the breathing gun. It is a living firearm that hisses in the presence of demonic forces. Its sentient bullets chase its victims down. The
Interesting.
wounds they cause cannot be healed, and if they get lodged in your body,
Ooh.
they'll slowly devour
Yeah,
you.
and that could be a new ult there for him too. The breathing gun, where they shoot in, like he locks onto a person, and he shoots them, and they get anti-healed where they can't be healed until they die.
From the inside
That'll honestly
out.
be kinda
They
awesome.
can even hurt Hell Lords and even greater threats like the Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Blade took everything he had and fought his one-man war for almost 100 years.
He's battled hordes of vampires while skydiving, infiltrated the Pentagon, and even took on Spider-Men like Miles Morales, who could absorb the energy of a bomb that could destroy Harlem. Blade's even bested the Spirit of Vengeance, Zarathos.
And while he occasionally allied with
Beats
teams
battle vampires for 98 plus years. Harmed Cosmic Ghost Rider with a breathing gun. Okay, tore bodies apart with his bare hands. Blocked gunfire with his nunchaku. Dodge count Vaunt stats. Optic lasers. Survived Hulk throwing him into the sky. Fought hordes of killer geese with Deadpool. And defeated Dracula. Defeated Frost, Zarathos, and Varney.
like the Avengers, he prefers to work alone.
I probably would too if they only cared about me when I was helping them and not ridding the world of, vampires.
That, and Blade is scared of what he might do if he loses control, because he does have one classic vampire weakness: a thirst for blood. Blah.
Even more so after he had a daughter, Brielle, whom he avoided for fear of endangering her. If his bloodlust does overwhelm him, he will enter a berserker rage, skyrocketing his strength at the cost of his sanity.
Though it does make him even better at killing vamps. He's made a cottage industry out of whooping Dracula's ass.
Dracula is unsurprisingly powerful, capable of summoning a thunderstorm that covered all of Boston with a wave of his hand.
Drac apparently didn't hold a grudge though, since he eventually made Blade the sheriff of Vampirsk, a vampire nation in the ruins of Chernobyl.
Amazingly, Dracula has even given Blade some of his own blood, which allows him to shapeshift into multiple forms, like a wolf, a horde of bats, or a cloud of mist.
So he can force his way inside your body and blow you up from the inside out, Ant-Man style.
What is with you with the Ant-Man? Blade's hatred of vampires is only matched by his hatred of himself. However, when Brielle showed signs of vampiric powers, Blade finally found a reason to reconnect with his daughter, training her the same way Afari trained him a century prior.
Even after Blade was possessed by the first vampire ever and tried to take over the planet, Brielle put her dad's teachings to the test, saving both him and the world.
And proving that Blade's lonely war need not be so lonely anymore. With his daughter at his side, and also this plant creature pet called Boy Thing, let Marvel's vampires beware. For should they indulge their unnatural urges, they will be sure to meet their end at the tip of his blade.
Yeah, this just makes me want to play Blade even more now, even though I play him a lot already.
In every generation, there is a chosen one. She alone will stand against
All right,
the
now we're
vampires,
gonna get into
the
Buffy.
demons, and the forces of darkness. She is the Slayer.
For thousands of years, a new Slayer would be granted incredible powers and was destined to die young in battle against evil, passing their powers on to the next Slayer, and the next, and so on. That is, until the newest Slayer would change everything: Buffy Ann Summers.
Not exactly the first girl.
All right,
you're
background, Buffy Ann Summers. Height, occupations, waitress, counselor, law enforcement. Love interest, Pike, Angel, Riley, Spike, Satsu, death count, at least 2. Oh, she died twice. Founder and president of the Third Magic Council, likes ice capades. James Spader. I don't know why I said Spacer. Christian Slater and pineapple pizza.
Is
Oh,
the
bitch,
savior of
nasty.
humanity. Buffy's only goals in life were, in her own words, graduate from high school, go to Europe, marry Christian Slater, and die.
But that would all change when the Watcher Merrick appeared and revealed her destiny.
Like, total bummer.
Merrick trained Buffy in the arts of vampire slang, and she became so efficient that she burned down her school. Whoops.
Forcing her and her mom to move to Sunnydale, California to start a new life, far away from any more bloodsuckers and bad makeup.
Unfortunately, small problem, Sunnydale just so happened to be right on top of a hellmouth, where the boundary between Earth and Hell is permeable.
Yeah, that sounds like the valley, alright. Along with new Watcher Giles, Wallflower Willow, part-time bad boy, part-time sad boy Angel, magical retcon sister Dawn, and... Xander. Buffy and her Scooby Gang would battle a never-ending series of monsters.
And we mean truly never-ending. Sure, there's the TV show, but Buffy has also been slaying vampires across video games, comics, and 128 novels.
Damn. Is that popular? I never heard this bitch till today. I didn't know she had comics, games, and that many books.
Tens of thousands of pages of Buffy lore you've never heard of.
But we're just crazy enough to speed read them all.
Buffy carries a variety of anti-vampire weaponry. There's wooden stakes, of course.
Okay,
sometimes
arsenal.
dipped in Gorgon venom that can...
Arsenal, crossbow, knives and stakes, morning star, grenades, flamethrower, an M136 rocket launcher. She has a rocket launcher. Okay. Hellfire launcher, Hope's dagger, laser rifle, Olaf's hammer, glove of Mihamigan, and razor blades.
turn you to stone. Though she's also experienced with axes, swords, quarterstaffs, holy water, just about anything.
You said it! When she fought an ancient demon unable to be killed by any weapon forged in his time, Buffy introduced his stupid ass to the 20th century.
She's also a master of Aikido, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, karate, kung fu, wushu, tai chi, kendo, capoeira, and taekwondo.
Buffy apparently thinks Hong Kong's kung fu movie masters could learn a thing or two.
No kidding. Thanks to her Slayer senses, her reflexes are fine-tuned enough to dodge close-range Gatling gun fire, lightning bolts from the sky, and even beams of light. She's kept up with another Slayer, Faith, who can dodge laser beams from point-blank range.
Buffy's strong enough to bend rebar, punch this 4.5-ton bat monster into the air, and, smash hard enough to tear apart a building.
And despite her lack of armor, she can survive massive explosions, like the one that destroyed Cephrilion's lair that's bigger on the inside.
She can even fight blindfolded, but if she is injured, she heals fast enough to be
Okay,
totally
abilities: accelerated healing, heightened senses, martial arts and weapon expertise, Cloud Tears trance, Slayer mode, human resistance to hypnosis, mind control, clairvoyance, poison, sedatives, and that's what I meant to say. Physical possession, soul manipulation, and memory manipulation. Ooh, okay.
Bye by the next episode.
One time, Angel sucked out almost all of the blood from her body, and she survived. Doubly impressive since Angel's blood draining also drains magical energy.
Yeah, Buffy's own magic makes her weirdly resilient to esoteric attacks, like when she expelled this misty shadow demon trying to possess her body, or when she resisted her soul being ripped apart and scattered across time.
Or that time she jumped into a vat of boiling liquid so hot it could reduce people to skeletons, and she was just fine.
She might not show physical scars, but she sure has emotional ones. Being the Slayer put a huge burden on Buffy's life.
Unable to live normally, she felt isolated, forced to internalize the trauma she faced on a daily basis. Sure, she had friends, but they couldn't understand her unique struggle.
Like when Angel turned evil after he took her virginity and tried to destroy the world. That must be one of those metaphors.
Sometimes the worst enemies are the ones you can't fight and who don't fight back.
Made even worse by her having all the memories of the other Slayers bouncing around in her head, dating back to the Stone Age.
Buffy has dreamt of every battle a Slayer has ever fought, and can call upon those skills in a fight, even subconsciously.
But this includes the memories of their deaths. countless women violently dying young, a reminder of her inevitable fate.
A fate that came to pass when she fought the hell god Glory. After leaping into Glory's reality-ending interdimensional hole,
okay.
Glory hole, if you will.
Buffy sacrificed herself to save the universe, dying a hero's death.
It appears my glory hole joke was poorly timed.
Finally freed of her unfair earthly responsibilities, Buffy's soul ascended to heaven in perfect bliss. Until her friends brought her back to life in the agony of existence. This absolutely crushed Buffy and, ironically, annihilated her will to live.
Oh, that's rough, Buffy. But with the show renewed for more seasons, she had to nut up and continue her endless crusade against all things Spirit Halloween.
Buffy's battled for 48 hours
Okay,
straight.
feet. Destroyed the seed of wonder, lifted Olaf's enchanted hammer, caught the sword that sealed Akathua, survived Willow's unrestrained magic power, matched Oz's micro-millisecond reactions, gouged out the Hell Lord's Belphegor's eyes, withstood lightning from Gathered, and defeated the Master, Dracula, First Evil, and Hellmother. Okay.
Vampires immune to traditional vampiric weaknesses, and destroyed the Sword of Sano, which caused the Great Hanshin earthquake.
And of course, both Buffy and her friends have defeated countless immensely powerful demons.
Like the Queller Demon, which arrived as a meteor and caused the Tunguska explosion, which destroyed over 2,000 square kilometers of forest. Or the Sorrow Demon, which caused a storm that blanketed Los Angeles.
She's also a match for Angel, who survived a blast that could rupture a continental shelf, and took hits from Whistler, whose magic contained a bomb that could vaporize London.
She even faced off against the First Evil, literally the embodiment of all evil that predates reality itself.
Forced into battles against stronger and stronger baddies, Buffy clearly needed something to even the odds. The Slayer safe!
It's actually a Bardiche.
Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna say it. This thing is bullshit.
Containing the essence of Buffy's Slayer.
Okay, the Scythe, counterpart to Excalibur, forged to kill old ones, contains the essence of Buffy's Slayer powers, cuts through magic, space, ghosts, power absorption, reflection, distribution, magical wards against theft, and power removal. This Scythe conceived the child with Willow in the novels, don't ask. Okay.
Powers created to defeat ancient demons. The Scythe can deflect magical projectiles and slice through just about anything. Ghosts, magic, even space itself, destabilizing reality in the process.
Even Silas,
that seems kind of broken.
Devourer of worlds, kind of like Galactus, but instead of chomping on planets, he eats the multiverse. And there goes his head.
The Scythe is easily the most powerful tool.
I think that's the thing that's gonna make her win.
Completed Buffy, as though
against
it were a piece of her
Blade.
she never knew was missing. With the Scythe, Buffy was finally whole. Being the Slayer was no longer a burden, but a purpose.
And by sharing her Slayer powers with thousands of girls around the world, they all teamed up and kicked the First Evil's ass.
Suddenly, the always isolated Buffy had thousands of shoulders to lean on, a sisterhood of Slayers.
And thousands more reasons for any wannabe demon conqueror to stay away from Earth. Because unless you want to get your blood all over her stylish yet affordable boots, you'll steer clear of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, just because of that Scythe, that leads me towards more Buffy winning. Just because of that Scythe. But who knows, Blade may pull something out his ass and get the dub. But I'm going with Buffy right now. Sorry, Blade.
Alright, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a live-action death battle!
Oh, this is different. Wait, did they actually get real people for this? And it's not just like an animation? They actually got real people. I was expecting an animation, like a Blender animation. No, they actually got real people for this. Maybe it will turn into an animation later. But right now it's real people.
we were kings.
I know who that
Long
is.
before they had a name for kings. But now, starved, hunted, forgotten. You have waited long enough. Tonight,
Here he comes.
we remember who we were. Tonight, we take back what was always ours. Tonight, we feast.
Daywalker.
And she was just the start.
Okay, that was kind of clean. Okay. I have to say it's a little weird seeing it like too fictional, like it just is in real life instead of like an animation. Because I would have honestly probably preferred it being an animation. But real life is kind of clean. I just still preferred. Still preferred animation. Dang. Nah, shit. Put her down. Took out the breathing gun.
Wait! She was just a kid.
Not anymore.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but isn't your voice a little too high to be Blade? All I know Blade for having a light voice. I mean having a deep voice, not a light voice. No respect, no disrespect to you. Damn.
You out your damn mind?
I'd say the choreography is pretty good. The fuck? That ain't gonna do nothing.
Amateur hour.
There's always some motherfucker trying to ice skate uphill.
I can't take that seriously, but good job, bro. Ah, shit, she's bringing out the axe. Yeah, it is about to be GG's right here. She brought out the axe.
Another sword.
I see you cut through adamantium.
Bring it on.
Okay, that was kind of clean. Wait, alright, just before, like, I just want to say, because earlier they said that she spread her power through a lot of other vampires. So is Blade about to be jumped? Is Blade about to get jumped with her? Like, is Buffy about to call on her sisterhood and he's about to get jumped? Nope, the power of the axe, yep. Bye, Blade. Like I fucking said, as soon as they mentioned that damn axe, I was like, that axe is gonna be the reason why she wins. Or that scythe, whatever, I'm calling it an axe.
Looks like you got ahead of yourself.
And you ended it like that? Oh no, I hate you.
KO! To be Blade-tenued no longer. I'm surprised. I figured with Blade's many years of comic book history, he'd have the edge.
Believe it or not, Buffy is actually in more comics than Blade.
Really? Man, Blade can't catch a break.
Let's break this down into 4 categories. First up, stats. Buffy's lifted much heavier things and survived more significant explosions.
Yep.
Like, sure, Blade's strong and all, but he isn't literally fucking buildings apart like Buffy.
Scaling to the monsters they fought, compare Dracula creating a storm that covered Boston to the Sorrow Demon creating a storm that covered Los Angeles, a city over 5 times larger. You might be able to compare Blade to Spider-Man like Miles, who absorbed a bomb that could blow up Harlem, but that's significantly weaker than Whistler containing a blast that could wipe out London. They could both dodge light beams, but that doesn't keep Buffy from taking the overall edge.
Yeah,
in
she has
stats.
stats.
Blade's used to being the odd man out, though, so his versatility is just as important.
With Blade's numerous powers and massive arsenal, he certainly could have overwhelmed the more straightforward Buffy.
Machine guns and magic swords are generally gonna beat out crossbows and morning stars. Not to mention, he actually wears armor.
Also, Blade's faster healing factor and immunity to traditional vampire weaknesses kept Buffy on the back foot for a time. Blade wins versatility.
But when it comes comes to skill, Buffy's got plenty of experience fighting armed opponents barehanded.
Both of them were masters of a similar number of martial arts.
And
Yeah.
Blade has been kicking vampire ass for a century, way longer than Buffy's even been alive.
While Blade may have more personal experience, Buffy's ability to draw on Slayer battles dating back to the Stone Age, at least 40 times older than Blade, gives
Yeah,
her
the
the
skill,
superior
yeah.
skill. Even then, they both had weapons and abilities so powerful they could end the fight instantly, regardless of all else.
They're trump cards. Fortunately for Buffy,
Trump card.
Jeff
Well,
actually
yeah, trump cards. Buffy got it because of that scythe. I'm sorry, the scythe. For you Buffy fans out there, yeah, she got that. If she'd never had that scythe, I think Blade would have won,
Draining her energy with his
or at
might?
least been like
Check.
a tie.
resisting the Hellfire shotgun, destroying her soul. Check.
Preventing Blade turning to mist and exploding her from the inside out? Check.
Meanwhile, Blade had no way to survive, say, Buffy's Gorgon venom turning him to stone.
And even with the deadly, it just plain gross breathing gun, Blade did not have anything as potent as the Slayer sight. It could
Yep.
easily deflect the breathing gun's bullets back at him, or use its space-cutting ability to slice through his unbreakable adamantium sword.
Don't believe us? Even Wolverine's adamantium skeleton was cut in half when a portal closed on top of him. That's the same kind of thing.
And Wolverine's beta adamantium skeleton is a much tougher version of the same metal.
Oh, and since the scythe could kill Silas, a multiverse devouring god,
Yeah,
I think you could take
that's
down
what I
Blade
said.
with a big enough
The
swing.
scythe
Giving
gave Buffy.
the final advantage over the Daywalker.
Really thought Blade had a chance, but Buffy sure put a damn fear on things.
The winner is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I'm not mad.
Next time on Death Battle.
Oh, is that Devil May Cry?
Subscribe and join as a member to see
Devil May Cry
more
versus
Death
Final
Battle.
Fantasy.
Thanks for watching.
Dante versus Clive. All right, yeah, that's gonna be a banger. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to like on the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all in the next one.